And sitting pretty, sitting pretty, sitting pretty, sitting pretty.
Why can't keeping it real be classy? Okay. Why can't keeping it real be let me hold my peace and let me move on? Why can't keeping it real be, you know what? They may have done that, but I'm going to respect them and move forward. Why can't that be keeping it real?
Right.
Hey you! Are you looking for a licensed cosmetologist who specializes in natural hair and locks? Well, go see JJ Wesley at Naps by J. She'll take care of all your natural hair needs. Book your appointment now. Call 602-955-0646. The number again is 602-955-0646. And remember to always keep it nappy.
All right, so they were clowning on me before because I said, "Am I still talking extra low?"
Yeah.
I'm congested. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. So that's why.
You should scream like Queen Bee.
No, I'm not. All right, welcome to episode 19 of Sitting Pretty and Keeping It Real. Today we have a guest with us who's also a family friend, Mr. DeMarrice Green. You want to go ahead and just introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what you do?
Well, my name is DeMarrice Green, and I do nothing.
Absolutely nothing. And you over there whispering.
I'm like,
I'm pulling my closer and speak up.
All right.
Yeah, you low. You ain't gotta be low. It's
I
just
set
us
the
in here.
tone.
We ain't got nobody.
Yeah,
in here.
exactly. What do I do? What do you mean? What I do? I do some.
You
of
own a
everything.
business.
I,
You're an electrician.
I'm in the process of adding another business aspect to that part. But yeah, I'm an electrician by day, and with the union.
And he danced by night. No,
I do dance by night for no fee. No fee.
you don't get tipsy.
What's your
No tip. Huh?
What's your .com?
See, now it's getting serious because we are with a licensed dancer. I'll say it's a licensed dancer on the.
Oh, you remember?
Yeah,
Yeah, I do. I keep up. I keep up with everything. Yeah.
See,
What? I keep up with it. But yeah, I'm an electrician by day, and I do that through the union, local 640 here in Arizona. And there's unions. Like, I don't know if y'all know how it works.
No,
Do you?
we don't.
No, I actually don't.
So the electrician union, I can go from here in Arizona to pretty much any state in the United States that has a union. And I just go there, sign up, and depending on what work is like there, whether it's booming, then I could get a job within a couple days.
So you don't have to relicense in different states, basically.
Some states have different things what they want you to do. Like California has to get a license, but sometimes when they need jobs and they need bodies to fill them, they just have what they call walkthroughs. Where you just go, you sign up, and then you go to work the next day.
So if you find enough, then you can get the job.
Yeah. Well, I was like, yeah.
So what causes states to have different licensing? Is it because
It's just different rules. I don't even know. It's so political. It's just different states require different things. Arizona happens to be a right to work state, and it falls in that category where you go through the apprenticeship and then you become a certified journeyman.
Oh, okay.
But you don't have to go through the apprenticeship. You could be like what they call a CE or a CW. That's somebody just barely coming on, probably out of high school or haven't done it before. But they also get less benefits and they make less too. So it depends on what do you want out of it.
So when you go from state to state, is your pay rate the same or do it vary by state?
Pay rate is not the same. Arizona right now, our rate is, I'm putting it out there.
You gonna tell us how much you make?
Yeah. Yeah, why not?
well, you don't have to do that. Just
No. I'll put it out there because if somebody happens to hear this and they're not sure what they want to do, then if that pay sounds good enough or what I say touches them in a certain way, by any means, come down and sign up. But so our rate is 27. I believe it's 27.30 or something like that.
That's not bad.
Once you top out. I think if you get in as an apprentice with no experience, it's like 15 something. In these jobs, some of the jobs I've worked on have been 7 days a week, 12 hours a day.
Oh, so that adds up.
So that adds up.
Yeah, you get so used to working, you forget days. Like, you don't know what day it is, and it really don't matter because you know you work the next day.
When you get that check, though.
Yeah, well, that's where that comes in. Like, I worked so much, and I was so tired I didn't even have anything to do with the money until the project was over, and sometimes that lasts like 6 months.
So it adds up then, basically.
I
you
went
can
like
deposit in my account. I find
Right,
something to do with
if
it.
you need to find
All
out
right,
what to
well,
do.
give me y'all social, and then
No,
we'll talk.
No, we
Then we'll
blame
talk
people
about it.
on our taxes. We don't get paid.
So let's go ahead and switch gears a little bit before we
We ain't
get into
introduced
Mr. Damaris.
ourselves yet.
Yeah, I know. I was just letting him give his little spiel. I didn't want to cut him off in the middle of him talking. All right, so we can go around. Damaris already introduced himself. So
What's your rap name, Damaris?
Yeah.
My rap name? What did I used to call myself? I don't even remember. I don't remember. But I did used to rap. I did used to rap. Like every kid, I'm sure rapped at some point, but I used to rap like a mug. Most of it was I used to write it down, and then I don't know. I heard an interview with Lil Wayne. He said he didn't write nothing down. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna try that.
I'm done.
But I didn't know he started putting stuff on his phone. I thought he just freestyled everything. So I started freestyling. Then I couldn't remember all of it. I was like, I
Then
don't
you
know
put
how
it
to
in
do
your
it.
phone after
At
that.
the
Yeah.
end of the rap
So you
career.
just go by
Yeah, that was the end of the rap career. I was good at it. I would say that. I don't brag on myself much. I was good at it because I took English serious in school, and I did a lot of poetry.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
watch out now. So you just go by Damaris.
I go by DeMarrice on everything.
Okay.
Like, in Mexico, they call me No Mas Tomas. So.
Oh, Lord. So that's what we got with us tonight. I'm not going to try to repeat that.
And Queen B in his house.
Sassy B is in the house.
T-T.
You
I can't
couldn't
even
sound
say my
any more
name.
excited.
T to the E.
We got Kimmy here
Right.
where our pretty's at in the P Lounge, not in the house.
Oh yes, and the P Lounge.
And
We
it
got a
should-
P Lounge coming real soon.
We're in the P Lounge. What are you talking
No,
about?
no, no. We got a real P Lounge.
This is a real P Lounge.
No,
We got
a
another
real.
A visual one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That we can take visuals.
Who else we got in his house?
If y'all would stop talking, we got Devar and the K in the house tonight. So, as usual, we're just going to go around and, well, we already introduced ourselves, but talk about what we're snacking on and drinking on for the night. So, Miss Sassy B.
We are celebrating New Year's Eve a little
Yes,
bit
ma'am.
early.
This is a little different. Everybody try to name what we have on that table.
Do one.
So let's
I'll
go
around
with-
in a circle.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll go around the circle. So you can start. We got
You want
You
me
could
to
just
with
start
your
with
drink
the
and
drink.
your what you
Just start with
One
the drink.
thing. A drink and one thing.
We have cocktail meatballs,
and
In
what
the
is
drink.
that drink?
and the drink is a holiday cocktail.
Awesome. And we also have barbecue chicken sliders.
We have a relish tray.
We have cheese and we got cheese
And
and
meat.
meat.
Meat
Cheese
and cheese.
and meat tray. Cheese and cheese.
And spinach artichoke bites.
Mm.
And also another bite. Southwest chicken, I think. Egg roll bite.
Yay, we did it.
Yeah, I think that's everything.
That's it.
Dun, 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 dun,
No,
dun,
dessert.
dun.
What was
Dessert.
dessert?
Oh,
The
the
little
red
velvet
bundt
bundt cakes. Mini
Red
bundt
velvet
cakes.
bundt cakes.
Mini bundt
Mini
cakes.
ones.
Mini bundt cakes.
Happy New Year! I'm gonna just scream that
Just for
randomly.
you, Damaris.
I'm gonna scream that randomly throughout the podcast.
All for you.
Did you like the setup?
Hmm?
You like the setup?
I do.
All for
did.
you, Moss
I did.
Thomas.
Yes.
Is that what you said your name?
No mas,
No mas,
no
Thomas.
mas, Tomas.
Thomas.
Thomas.
Don't go back to
Thomas.
Mexico.
Thomas.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna stay away for a while.
You sound like you need to.
So before we get into a little bit more about you, Damaris, in the second half, we usually just go over like different little hot topics that have been surfing around the World Wide Web. But one that we're going to talk about that eventually, it was around the web, but it'll be bigger and better next year, is the AZ Hip Hop Christmas. Let's
Yes.
talk a little bit about that.
Did you make it out to that?
I don't like the way you're looking at me.
Because on my memory.
Yeah, if it
Yeah.
serves me right.
You
If
was
it,
not
if
in
it
that
serves you
house.
right, I was not there. I did plan on going. I bought 2 tickets.
What?
You bought tickets?
Yeah, but I do have 2 kids and 1 on the way, so those things shake out the way they do. And I did keep up with everything. I watched the little skits and saw pictures. Everybody looked beautiful.
It was nice. We had a good time.
Yeah, it looked like it was a good time. I really missed it though.
Yeah.
Yep.
You
Next
did.
year.
You missed it.
Yeah.
Next year.
Next year.
My favorite was Phoenix Kid.
Yeah, he was lit.
Actually,
Okay.
hold on a second.
You're being biased.
No, I
Tell
am
me.
not being biased, and
No, I wanna hear.
I'm not a rap person, so y'all know I don't really get into rap music. But they had the best show performance, and I knew what the hell they were saying. So
Phoenix Kid got on.
no, but they did. I like the whole little crew that they had up there. That
It
was
was.
They were
and
like amped up.
they did bring up the vibe of the
the
party
energy.
because it was kind of like going and going and going, and then they got up there, and
And
then
everybody just got
the
amped.
funny part about it, I'm like, wait a minute, that's another little greedy kid. I didn't realize that he rapped. You know,
Which one?
the one y'all stole food. She knows what
Oh.
I'm talking about.
I don't want to say his name.
Was he there too on the stage?
Yeah.
with them?
Yeah, he
I don't
was
know
on
if
stage.
I wasn't
He was on
inside.
stage.
Oh, okay.
Because I asked him. I said, wait a minute, is that your little greedy friend? He said, yep.
Unfortunately, I made it to the end, but I feel like he was pretty amped
Oh,
up.
Yeah.
I recorded it.
I
for you.
enjoyed all of them.
Yeah.
Every single
Yeah.
one.
Sincerely Collins was good.
And I missed. That's what I was gonna say because I heard at the end it was amazing, but we left early, so
Yes.
we didn't get to see the
Sincerely was off
powerhouse.
the chain. He kind of reminds me of Phoenix Kid a little bit, but he's a little bit older version than Phoenix
Oh,
Kid.
okay.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
we didn't get to
Yeah,
see
we
him.
left.
Yeah.
And then, what was the other one? Renegade. I liked them.
Yeah, I did enjoy
Oh,
them.
Dan G. We gotta
Dan
shout
G.
him out. Dan, he was
I
really
like
good.
them. And what's the redheaded one?
Gmo and
Gmo,
Pete.
yeah.
Look, I don't know anybody's name, but
Gmo.
They were good. They
I
were
like
good.
them. I like his little friend.
Yeah, they're
Thank
very
God for
nice
no
guys.
visuals.
They are such nice guys.
Yeah, but no, but it was. I think what for me is it's a beat and it's the energy, and if you are just, I'm just gonna
Yeah.
ignore you. So those were the ones that stood out for me.
Yeah, right.
And I was tired too. So
I had a good time.
I did. I was so proud, even though Pod's son is also my brother. I was just so proud of him.
I was proud too.
to
Yes.
My
bring
baby.
such a big show to Arizona his first year. He got some, some hot people on it.
Yeah, the only people it was missing was Bougie. and
Bougie,
Swerve.
Bougie.
Yeah,
and Swerve
Swerve,
Pete.
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that would
He
have
did.
set
That
it
would have
off.
set. Yeah, that would have set it up. But it was. He
It was
did a
still
really good.
awesome.
It was still. He set it off, and I was proud of Pod's son.
And Myra J, she did fantastic.
Myra
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 Energy.
Energy.
Oh, Myra
yes.
Energy. I was like, who's Myra J?
Myra Energy.
Myra Energy. Yes.
and then,
Sovereign. You gotta
she
give
was
Sovereign
fancy.
lifestyle.
And then
Yes.
Luciano. That's
Luciano.
Luciano.
Yes. Oh yeah. Those
Oh,
two
yeah.
were the MCs.
So yeah, the MCs they did really good, and whoever the DJ was.
The DJ wasn't
Bootleg
DJ
Cab.
Bootleg
Bootleg
Cab.
Cab.
I don't know who was on at the beginning, but I don't know his
I
name. but-
don't. Y'all know I was outside the entire time, so I
Yeah.
can't
Yeah, I
attest
don't
to
know.
that.
Yeah, you was man on the
Oh,
door.
But
Pit
Bootleg
bull.
McKay
Cab-
was a what do you want to call her?
Security.
Yeah, she was
High level
Top
security.
top flight security of the world, Chris.
It was Brinks.
Yeah.
You could not. She just looked at us and said, "Go inside." I'm
Right.
like, okay, I'm gonna go inside.
Okay, with your beat face.
I was holding it down outside. I didn't need y'all to come around and
Yeah,
mess
you
up
did
my-
hold the door down.
Yeah, she held it down, but it was amazing. The Cali Cat held it down backstage.
I didn't
Everybody
see-
did.
I didn't
She
go
was
I
got
backstage.
to
She
cheer
was
once 'cause she's
she was
I was
facilitating
backstage.
everybody
she was like
going
getting
up.
those people, those rappers in line. And when I went back there, she was hollering at. So I was like, "Oh, okay, let me just move."
Her
Yeah,
collection.
she was holding it down. So
So thank you once again, Sovereign Lifestyle and Pod's son,
Yes.
and everybody else who
For an
played a
awesome
major
event,
role.
Y'all
in
got
AZ Hip Hop Christmas
BMW
and BMW
entertainment.
Entertainment.
Oh, you know what, Rod? Keep talking shit.
Oh yeah, he was talking stuff
Yeah,
at the
we
end.
coming for you in 2 weeks.
I'm not scared. I hope you should, but he should be.
Yeah.
Let's tackle that task in 2 weeks. So just going in kind of like a timeline. Shortly after, 3 days after we had Christmas. So everybody wants to go. Does everyone want to go around and tell us a little bit about their Christmas, or just share a little bit? If you don't want to share, you don't have to. But just speak on your Christmas experience.
Everybody looking at me.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
can.
yeah.
I'll jump straight into it.
Yeah.
I loved it. It was real good. Anytime you could look at that bank account the day after and like, damn.
It was still
I
good.
didn't know I spent that much, or because this year was the first year I think we pretty much grabbed toys and gifts for everybody I could think of. We had about a little less than 50 50 gifts under the tree.
I didn't get one.
I don't remember seeing my gift in there.
Isn't that what that wine was you brought in here today?
Yeah.
I got you.
Okay.
Two bottles.
I got you. See?
But yeah, I'll get up in the morning, getting ready for work, go into the kitchen, and I might fall a couple times or have to climb over some stuff. Like, we had that much stuff in there.
That's awesome.
Could be that, or it's just I got a small living room. I'll figure that out. But
Look, 5 bags in
there. We still have a few more. We still got a few more presents up under there.
Under your tree?
Yeah, still over there. I mean, I got family. They live so far. I ain't going to drop them off.
You better come get it. You got the gifts.
Yeah. The least they could do is come get it. I mean, I bought it. So
Yeah.
What's your address?
Queen, we gonna be there.
I should have brought them
pick
with
it
me.
up for her.
Yeah. Hey, get them before the new year, or we gonna raffle them off.
Everybody get a present. You get a present. You get a present.
Mine was pretty cool. This year, I love that it was not more so about, like, the gifts. Like, I didn't even go all out like I normally do for my kids. Like, we didn't spend as much money. I didn't get gifts for, everybody like I know. And I still felt like it was the best Christmas. Like, even, like, normally when I go to my dad's side, like, we're opening gifts for, like, 2 hours. I promise you our gift session was, like, 20 minutes. Like, it was less about how much you're buying and more about the time that you spend together. And that's what's most important. So, I had a great Christmas. I had a great weekend. It was a whole weekend. So, I had a great weekend.
A whole shindig.
Right.
Shabong bong.
My Christmas was okay. It was bittersweet. I got some devastating news from a friend. She found out she had cancer. And her birthday is Christmas Eve. So when I called to tell her happy birthday. So that kind of messed up my whole Christmas mood. But I did spend it with family. So that was fun. It's always free entertainment when we all get together. And we were all together. So that kind of helped. But I kept to myself. Only because it was trying to process a whole bunch. So
A bunch of stuff, yeah.
Yep.
Shit. My Christmas started on Christmas Eve with a whole bunch of craziness with my family. And then basically on Christmas Day, I just kind of chilled. I kind of slept all day long. I got like my little gifts and just set them around. Looked at my little gifts, but kind of like you said, I just chilled with family on Christmas Eve, and then until about 12 Christmas Day, and then I just chilled after
Let's
that.
back up. On Christmas Eve, they was up laughing.
Oh,
We stayed up on Christmas
No, we
Eve
laughed
until
through
5
Christmas.
a.m.
We laughed through Christmas.
Y'all laughed through Christmas.
Actually, that's how we
in the
brought
morning.
Christmas in. We brought Christmas in laughing with my son, my youngest
Phoenix
son.
kid is a fool.
Okay, now it's my turn. Okay. Mine started a week before.
No.
No, it's my turn.
It's her turn.
It started.
Now, when you gave yours, I didn't interrupt you.
Right. So
It's her
Mine-
favorite. Look, it's her
mine
favorite
started-
time of year.
On my birthday. Actually, before my birthday.
We might as well do
And
it
I'm
just a
still getting
continuation.
gifts right now. So my
Yes.
Christmas was beautiful. And also, we all got a gift from one person. Podson gave us a nice gift.
Yes.
Oh, I forgot
Yes,
about
it
that.
is.
Yes,
he
and it was
did.
nice and thoughtful of him.
Shout
Thank you
out
so much.
Podson.
Podson, thank you so much for a gift. We're using it tonight.
Yes.
And
He gave who a gift?
I said all of us.
No,
Sitting
but-
Pretty.
Okay.
He gave Sitting Pretty. The ladies of Sitting Pretty.
No, you
a
said
beautiful
he
gift.
gave me a gift.
No, I said us.
Us.
Oh.
She said us.
Okay.
I said us.
But I wanted to make sure that.
Well,
they
it could be
understood
mine
us.
when I wanted. I take it to my house, but it'd be at my house.
It's
like
like
ours.
ours.
It's like
ours.
ours.
It's like the both
all
of ours.
ours. Yeah, but it'd be at my
If
house.
it's anything like my drink dispenser, you won't see it for a few years.
You know what? I'm gonna slap the shit out of you.
Okay,
got your
y'all.
drink
No, it's still my. I'm still talking.
She's still
Oh,
talking.
okay.
She still
Sorry.
has the
Go ahead,
floor.
Kimmy.
And
Go ahead, Kimmy.
I got lots of things for Christmas too that I'm still enjoying. Don't worry about it. I got them. They see.
Who is these people sitting
And thank you for all my Christmas gifts.
She got a whole bunch of Christmas cards. I know that one.
No, I got some Christmas things.
Oh, that's good because people don't send Christmas cards anymore.
Oh, no.
Tia, Vicky,
Oh, yeah.
Stephanie gave me nice Christmas
Oh,
gifts.
Oh,
yeah.
that's good.
The gifts.
They
yeah,
did give
so
us
that nice
gifts.
Mom
stuff.
was telling me she had this damn camouflage hat on backwards. She a thug tonight.
No, I was taking pictures and the visor was messing with the lighting.
On to more.
Oh,
I still look good though.
So,
Well, how was your Christmas?
I worked
Yeah.
Christmas Eve from 5 to 8 o'clock, which was pointless. They shouldn't have brought me into work. But you do get paid like time and a half or something like that.
So you got paid for what, like 6
hours?
Yeah, and I was only there for a few. So then I came over here to
Was
the
it
spot.
lit? It was turned. Was it lit?
It was lit. We had a good time. Present wise for Christmas, I'm having a hard time remembering.
Because you got a lot?
At the other end of the spectrum.
A lot of love.
You got love for Christmas.
Oh no, I'm not tripping.
I
I'm
gave
just
you a
saying
hug,
this
I
for
think.
comedy. Yeah, no, I'm not tripping at all. Like as I get older, I don't really care about what I get for Christmas. I really wasn't tripping. Like I slept through your kids opening their gifts, and I was laughing I was laughing. I heard the open price. I was like, "Whoa!"
So excited.
I wanted to get up, but I had just went to sleep.
I know.
And then I didn't really sleep too well Christmas Eve
bear.
night because
We had a
had
grizzly bear.
a grizzly bear in the living room. Who? We won't say.
Lonnie B. Oh my God,
No,
he snored so
was
hard.
bad. It
We
was
have a
bad.
slumber party.
Yeah.
I thought it was T to the E for a minute. I'm like, she can't sound like that. It cannot be her. And it was
You know
him.
what I mean?
And she was still knocked out right next to him. I know it had to be amplified.
Wait, and he had on a onesie too.
Yeah.
Maybe it was too tight on his chest. Maybe that's why.
All around the neck.
Or it was nice and fuzzy on his chest, and he just slept real
You
good.
got comfortable.
Nice.
Oh, there we go.
Lonnie B.
Nothing.
Nothing. We was talking about how good God is.
Yeah. Amen.
Won't he do it?
All the time, God is good.
Won't he do
What
it?
y'all talking about?
How
No,
good God is.
we talking about the new year now.
Ain't
No,
you
as soon
added
as
in the other
I'm
podcast?
done.
That's
Soon as
exactly.
I just got to put the music in. But as soon as I walk in, y'all say Lonnie B and then God is good. Not that I ain't about God or don't think he's good. It just didn't sound good to me.
Well, your auntie Kimmy gonna tell you the truth. I ain't gonna let them talk about you behind your back.
Okay.
I'm not gonna let it happen. They said you was snoring like a grizzly bear Christmas Eve through Christmas.
I believe it.
Not me. Auntie Kim did not
I
say
believe
that.
it.
They said that onesie was so comfortable on your chest and fuzzy that you started snoring and couldn't stop.
Hold on. Y'all see how she
Yeah.
Listen,
minute.
before
Hold
I
on a
stay
second.
before I stay at anybody's house, I give them disclaimers now. I be like, look, just so you know, I snore probably more serious than you've ever experienced.
Oh, so you
See,
need to
Auntie
dance
had
part
your
your
back
thing.
while they was
Yeah.
talking about you. Auntie
Something
Kimmy
like
had
that.
your back.
I need to get one of those face masks, like the sleep apnea.
Yeah. You need one of them.
You need
Yeah, they said they was gonna chip in and
I
get you
think he
one.
do stop breathing.
Oh, you need to go get a sleep
Yeah,
study.
the way
I probably
he's it's terrible.
Hey, I've been good thus far.
That's pretty good.
I survived every night since then.
Just they said don't put that onesie on no more.
Well, Christmas is
I
over.
can't with this lady.
Let's move on into the new year.
Yes.
Into the new year. So, can y'all tell us some of the highlights of 2017?
For ourselves or?
Right, yeah.
It's up whatever you like, whatever the Lord put on your heart to share with me tonight.
Highlights are like the favorite parts of 2017.
I'm sorry.
You said highlights or like the favorite part of
Ain't your
2017?
favorite part's gonna highlight?
Yeah, it's
No, I'm saying multiple or just
I like
one?
how you think.
Smart ass.
Just let's
You
No, I was
Don't
saying
get him
highlights
started.
as in plural for everyone at the table.
He want to get started.
So no, multiple highlights or one specific.
No,
highlight?
highlights as in everyone has to share, but one per person.
Okay,
that
gotcha.
works.
One per person.
So we're
I
gonna
feel
start
like
with
that's
who?
just self-explanatory.
We're gonna start with who?
Just one highlight.
Yeah,
For yourself?
one special highlight. It,
Yeah.
One highlight. There was so many. I think I just got to go watching my kids grow.
Yeah.
This was the first year in like 5 years that I've just been able to work 8 hours a day and then get home and pick them up from school, like play with them. Just yeah, basic parent stuff. That was fun. The year before that, I was working 7 days a week for 6 months, and then I was off for a couple weeks, and then did it again for another 6 months. So seeing the kids grow was pretty fun.
That's
I love that.
that's sentimental.
So before we move to Queen B, you got boys, girls. I know we
I
met
got-
one of your son. You met your son.
Yeah.
You look just like
Yeah, that's DJ.
That's your twin.
Yeah, that's Junior. He just turned 5 in November.
He 5?
He's 5.
He's tall.
He's tall
He's
for
fine.
5.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
He gonna use
He's
it.
I think they said he's a. We get that every time he goes for his checkup.
Like his percentile thing.
Yeah, percentile. He's up there. They say he's the size of an average 7-year-old or something like that.
That's what I used to call my nephew. I used to call
Yeah.
him a 2-year-old kindergartner. Because he was like 2,
Yeah.
but he's the size of a kindergarten.
So that's in the 100. That's like
100%.
beyond the 100.
Yeah, he's
100
beyond
percentile.
the 100.
But
I
it'll level
remember
out.
when he was going on 2. He was real tired one time. We was in the store, and we get up to the aisle to pay for our stuff, and he was falling asleep, and I had to take him out the basket, and I'm holding him. He's going on 2. I'm holding him. He's about half of my body, so his feet are down to past my knees.
Oh wow!
And people are looking at me like, like you would give a look to somebody that's holding like a 5-year-old or something like that. Like, why you carrying your kid like that?
But
And
you're
they're just
pretty
looking
tall
at
though too.
I am, and his mom she's only like 5'6", and he's pretty tall. But it's weird because she's taller than her dad. Actually, her
Oh,
dad's an
Jesus.
inch shorter than her.
So the daddy is how tall then?
Her dad is like 5'5".
Oh,
5'5".
that's not that bad.
Yeah, but he's a big boy.
But
He is a big boy.
it'll average out
Yeah.
though.
Yeah, because he used to be thick, and then now he's
slim enough.
Yeah.
Is he
But
active? Is he active?
He's he is really active. He's running through the house nonstop. If he didn't go to school, he'd probably run from the time he wake up to the time he go to sleep.
My highlights.
Queen Bee.
Oh Jesus, she putting her hands together. Jesus.
I mean, I have
Looking in the air.
I have so many. I think the biggest one, I think the biggest accomplishment for me stepping outside my comfort zone would be starting Exquisite Extensions by B. I think that was the biggest thing that I did that was different. I mean, I've been a mom for like 4 years, so I think that's kind of
your biggest thing, yeah.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing I think I did.
Relaunch in 2018.
Yes, look for it. It's gonna be big.
I like it. We'll be waiting.
I have a whole bunch. I guess my biggest one is Journey Mariah. I welcome my first granddaughter.
Oh yes.
So, yes. And my chunky butt is my everything. So she's starting to walk now. She got 2 teeth. And she can roll her eyes.
She about
like
to be
her
1
Mimi.
yet or no?
No, she won't be 1 until April.
Oh Jesus.
Yes, but she has her Mimi's attitude. That's all the best. So she will look at you like you and stole something and keep it moving. Yep. But she's a happy baby. I got to spend Thanksgiving with her, so. And I got videos of her for Christmas, so.
That's great.
Shit.
Come on, T.
Let me think. I think family has been like more cohesive. Look, cohesive.
I wasn't gonna say nothing.
That's the Medea version.
Look, I'm gonna just do my Medea voice. More cohesive.
Hello.
I think I've networked with so many people in 2017 that it's crazy to me. So I would say my highlight would be just stepping outside of my comfort zone. And, because I'm usually like, oh, I don't like people. I don't want to be around people. But I've been around so many people this year, and I actually have enjoyed it.
Right.
So I would say just stepping outside of my comfort zone and networking.
I like that.
It's only one thing.
No. Well,
Yeah,
and
that's
then,
only one.
well, okay, that whole thing, the only reason I've done that was because of the Family First movement. So just that whole thing in one little bundle.
Exactly.
Look, in one little bundle. One little yarn bundle. Bundle it up and put it in that box.
Mine, honestly, would be doing the podcast with my daughter. And us doing stuff together and enjoying it and having fun and laughing.
With the rest of your family, too? What about the rest of them people?
But it's still different when it's your daughter or it's your child. You old
Getting to
enough.
know her
Getting to
differently,
know her
yeah.
different, and she's old enough to where we can do stuff together, opposed to.
I can't even go to the club yet. What you mean do stuff?
You've done a lot of stuff for us, even though you can't go to the club. Can I have my moment? Just because it may not be your moment. She taking away from it while I'm trying to give it.
Look, I think what she's trying to say is that she's been able to bond with you in a different way.
Yeah, exactly.
That's probably what she's trying to say.
And we can do stuff together.
I'm gonna need y'all to manage y'all blackness right now.
Okay. That's all it is. That's all I got. But that's my thing. Is being able to hang with you more on an adult level and just do stuff together and not me watch you grow.
Oh,
Into a young lady.
So you kind of flipped it. Like now you're actually like she's more like you're hanging. With
Yeah, opposed to me
Now-
guiding her. Well, I still guide.
Now I'm your equal.
But that's her choice. You're my equal. You closer to my equal than you were.
What did they say?
She's
Now
her
it's
equal.
My equal. You're getting closer to it, but you're not there yet.
You're getting there.
Because you got the right to do whatever you choose to do. I could just give my opinion, and that's it.
Oh, let's not get started on that conversation.
You're an adult. 18. We talked about that a long time
I'm
ago.
over 18. Okay.
When you turned 18.
Next.
Well,
one
okay,
thing-
you're under 21.
What about
Can't have no
yours?
family council.
What about yours?
Okay.
That's what I'm about to say
Yeah,
right now.
exactly.
She keeps talking.
You're still under 21.
She keep talking. Don't be telling them more business. So, mine would be probably just family and learning how to deal with difficult situations in a better way and turning them into a positive situation. So, yeah. 2016 and 2017, I turned like a bad situation, lemons into lemonade. I just learned how to look at things differently, even though
That's
life
good.
happens.
Yeah. That's good. That's
Yeah.
good.
That's
Good stuff.
Mhm.
That's Happy New Year, folks.
Yes.
We got one more
If I can
topic
get a
to
drink.
talk about.
Before we go eat.
Yeah, before we go eat. So everybody at this table has iPhones, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, now.
I said at the time.
She's upgraded recently.
She gonna kill you.
About time.
I said
You know,
at
y'all
the
keep
table.
talking shit in the
I wasn't trying to be funny. I just wanted to
in the
make sure.
2017s, I got with y'all. I ain't saying I like it. Shit.
Yeah, you do. You went to the party.
Right.
You love
Anyway,
it.
go ahead.
You love it.
So
She like it.
let's talk a little
You know,
bit
you
about.
don't even know what the hell going on, DeMarrice.
Let's talk a little bit about Apple slowing down their iPhones as they get older.
I
How do
told
you
you
guys
that.
feel
I
about
knew
that?
that. See,
I know what? I should have never switched.
I knew that a long time ago. I told you.
Y'all done made me
I
switch.
know
I'm just
that
gonna go
shit.
slow right along with them until I decide to change.
I was talking to a dude I work with today about that, and he was like, "Oh, can you believe that Apple's doing that?" I was like, because I didn't hear about it yet, and he was like, "Yeah, they're slowing down their phones as they get older or whatever." And I was like, if you really think about it, the phones I had before that wasn't Apple pretty much did the same thing. I was like, they can't be the only ones out there.
Yeah.
doing it. It was crazy.
Okay, so I'm confused because I just got on the Apple team. When you say slowing down, you mean like the generations of them?
No.
Like, so
The functioning
software.
of the phone.
the
Yeah.
functionality.
It just moves
Yeah,
slow.
I think because I worked out at Intel where they make computer chips and you hear rumors and you hear stuff that's true all the time. I honestly think that once you get your phone, pretty much like when you buy a car, once you drive off the lot, the appreciation just devalues right there.
So it's the same.
I think once you power up your phone and it's new, it's like a ticking time bomb. Like on that
So
car.
y'all telling me I just bought a freaking phone?
No,
no,
it's
no,
like
no,
when
no,
it's
no,
like
no.
when either a new one come out or when your thing is
Right.
up.
Samsung does this.
Mine, I'm just gonna move slow right with
But
mine.
do you guys not think that instead of Apple going slow, that other phone carriers or companies are catching up
No.
with the technology?
No.
You don't think that it's
No.
comparable because
I'm going
at
back
one
to Galaxy.
Girl, everybody going slow. They just want you to get a new phone. That's all.
Exactly.
Yeah, like
But your phone shouldn't last. They always tell you you shouldn't have
2
a phone
years.
more than 2 years.
So y'all just saying I'm about up with the time.
So
you just
what
got that.
difference does it make if your phone, if it dials and you can go on the internet? I'm
Yeah.
trying to figure out what's slow about it.
I don't see nothing. I'm good.
Maybe we just need to
so
slow
what
down.
are they saying is slow? It's
That's
slowing down.
the strategy behind it. Everybody's coming up with all this new technology and stuff to where
It's like it goes
and
so
people
fast.
want to buy what are they buying for Christmas? They're getting electronics and stuff like that. As long and they actually said this, like they stopped putting
Wait,
so
I just
much
have
money.
to stop you. Where did you go before you came here? Because you guys
Glitter on me?
your head, yeah.
What?
I was
I
like,
stopped
and
by
you
the
know
booty
what?
house.
You know, I've been.
No, and
By
I
the
was
booty
thinking,
house.
did I put
I don't see glitter.
So
That's
wait,
on
I'm
the
gonna,
topics
got
we have.
glitter.
I'm gonna need you to remember what
I
you
don't
were
know.
talking about. But every time you bend your head down, I see glitter.
Red
You
glitter.
getting her excited.
I'm not excited for no women, but
I don't
you
know.
got
I don't know where it
glitter.
came from.
And I was
But
wondering if
I
it
was
came from
talking.
me.
Maybe
It came from you. What?
No, I have glitter everywhere. So
Have y'all been seeing
no,
this?
I do see
I have
that.
his head
But
down.
you
You
see, I
have
have glitter on my phone. I got
Okay,
glitter
so
on
we
my
can go
pants.
ahead. Go ahead and finish talking about iPhone. I'm sorry.
They used to put a
I
lot
just
more
see
money.
shiny stuff.
They used to put a lot more money into the chips and the materials of the phone. With everybody buying new phones, why do that and make it last longer when somebody probably like this young lady right here
Nikkei.
is Nikkei would want a new phone like every year, every 2 years or something like that. They're just trying to jump onto the trend. So
So they're doing what like Galaxy is already doing, because Galaxy's phones to me only last about 2 years.
Pretty much everybody's like that.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll always call, text, do that stuff, but as far as apps, response time, touch screen, stuff like that, all that stuff, they're using cheaper materials and they're doing it to where it doesn't last as long.
I'm gonna start
because they figure you won't have it that long anyway.
You heard me? I'm gonna start calling you Glitter DeMarrice.
Glitter D.
You came from the shake joint.
That don't even sound right.
Sunny D.
No, that's
I still don't see the glitter. I don't see.
Bend your head down one.
I'll do it after.
Yeah.
They can't try to clean you at the shake joint. He probably like, if my woman hit it, got me in trouble.
It matches his shirt.
She might have had that glitter on.
All right, so we about to go over to the food
No,
table.
she's due in like a week and a half.
Oh yeah. So the glitter it came from probably that drink we was skipping. Yeah, you're right.
She said, appreciate that.
So we're going to go over and shake on to the food table with DeMarrice.
From the shake joint to the food table.
I hope it's some vegan sides over there.
There's a relish tray.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
now
I heard Lonnie B was vegan, so
no, you ain't hear that. The way he over here shaked up. No.
I got about 3 good days in me in a good week, and then it's no rules after that.
All right, we'll be back.
Fresher than the league, I'm the MVP. Watch these niggas get bench back. Fresher than the league, I'm the MVP. Watch these niggas get bench, baby. Home run hits, baby. Catch a assist, baby. Yeah. Fresher than the league, I'm the MVP. Watch these niggas get bench, baby. Home run hits, baby. Catch a assist, baby. Yeah. Just pass me the rock. Looking at the clock. Niggas said he wishing I was stopping. I would never get no dough. I can see the block, so I can see the out. Niggas, they don't worry how we win, and they just tell the boy to shoot. Who the fuck hating on the real one? We ain't got a trophy, we gon' win one. I don't wanna take the shit away, but a nigga got some goals like he kicking it Brazilian. Just pass me the rock and then we cool. I don't wanna ball the same as you. Wanna be someone they never knew. Changing up, yeah, I'm forever new. Fresher than the league, I'm the MVP. Watch these niggas get benched, baby. Home run hits, baby. Catch a assist, baby. Yeah. Fresher than the league, I'm the MVP. Watch these niggas get benched, baby. Home run hits, baby. Catch a assist, baby.
All right, so we're back from our little snack food break. How was the food, ladies? DeMarrice?
Ladies, DeMarrice.
I didn't want to call you a lady and include
First
you
of all,
in that.
Oh boy.
hey, everybody had a hand in it?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was good. It was good. I really like it. I didn't know that.
Here we go.
He's gonna start something.
I didn't know you could ball a turkey up. They got a whole turkey worth of meatballs over there. I think I seen a bone in the ball. But it was good. I like it. Something I had at the end was like spicy. What was
One
that?
of them little red things.
Yeah.
It had a little kick to it.
Spinach artichoke.
I like that though. I like it.
Those was great value.
You didn't have to. Damn, you just plugged it.
Yeah, like
Look how she stares.
don't say nothing about it. Don't make no jokes about the artichoke. Or
I had
artichoke
something to do
your,
with that. I had something
or
to do
artichoke yours.
I just put them in a.
I got a choke joke for you.
Oh boy.
Oh gosh! All right, so let's get right on into it. So we're gonna this, as we said about before, this half is all about DeMarrice. So can you just start off by telling us a little bit about like your upbringing? Let's start about the early years, so young DeMarrice.
Whoa! All right, young DeMarrice was. Hey, I get kind of emotional when I think about it because it was I grew up with a brother and a sister in the house, older, And my mom was a single parent, so I've seen everything from single parent struggles to mom having to work late and being watched by a sister and brother, which wasn't a problem. We just grew and became closer together. But everything was good. And then up to like 11, my mom met what is now my stepdad. And that was cool because before that, I always looked for a mentor or a father figure to somebody. So, and that was my uncle. I found that in my uncle. And my brother, he was only like 9 years older than me. But I looked at him like, kind of like a uncle or a dad, even though he wasn't that much older than me. He was like 18, I was like 9. And I'm thinking like, yeah, that's my dad. And then I'm thinking to myself like, boy, that don't make sense. You know? He just got out of high school. You stupid. Y'all was almost at the same school. But yeah, everything was good. And then that was like to 11. Then my mom, she started dating my stepdad. Everything was cool. He'd come over every other day. Anything I needed, he would offer that to me. If he didn't have it, then he would actually find a way to get it. One day I threw him for a loop. He was like, what you want for your birthday? I was like, you see that scooter over there? And there was a boy riding like a moped type thing with a motor on it. I was like, yeah, he can't afford this. I'm gonna see what he could do though. I was like, you see that scooter right there? I want one just like that. He was like, yeah, with the motor and everything, huh? I'm thinking in my head like, nah, skateboard. And I was like, yeah, why not? He was like, oh, yeah, you know them cost a lot of money. I was like, yeah. I walked away from that conversation like, yeah, I ain't gonna never get one of those, whatever. He might actually bring me a skateboard or something. And then the next day he came, he was like, what you say you wanted? I was like, oh, that thing? Yeah, I know. You can't get it, right? And he was like, looking back at the truck. I was like, yeah, and he had right. It? He had one. Oh. He had one. It wasn't brand new, but we wasn't the richest people anyway, so it was brand new to me. I mean, you pulled the string and then started up on the first. Yeah. And that's when I really started looking at him like, put the toy aside. Like, this dude makes stuff happen. Exactly. He makes things happen. So, I just, from that point on, I believed what he said, and I just looked at him like a father figure. He got my respect, and it wasn't because of the toy, it's just because I seen what he could do. Yeah. Once he said he's going to do something, which was pretty cool. But at the time, I still had my uncle, who was like my dad. Like, he was there. He took me to football games. Nobody was allowed to buy my gear because that was his thing. We did it every year. I would get off of school on Fridays, and he'd be waiting for me at my house to take me to his house. He had an older son, so we just always had fun and stuff. And then that was all cool. So now at this point, I have my brother, my stepdad, and my uncle. And then a couple years go by. I'm in 8th grade, and I was playing Pop Warner, and I went to a high school game that night. And I had talked to him before I went. And then he was like, yeah, I'm going to be at the game tomorrow. I'm going to be at the game. I was like, all right, cool. And I went to the high school game, and then I got home. Everything was good. Went to sleep at like 11. I woke up at 11:30, and my mom just, the loudest scream you could ever hear from anybody, like an animal, a train, anything. It woke me up, and she would just say, my baby, my baby. I'm thinking like, what happened to my brother? Like, dang. And then she said my uncle's name, and I was like, what? He had got killed. Oh, my goodness. He got killed at a nightclub trying to break up a fight, actually. Wasn't even involved. And he stepped in the middle of the two dudes and extended his arm. Well, first he was trying to wrestle a gun from a guy, which was crazy because everybody was running, like, what's going on?
And that's the uncle that was supposed to be at the game.
Yeah. That's my Uncle Junior. And so he's trying to wrestle the gun away from the guy. Guy finally got loose, and he put his arms out to put space in between the two that was fighting. and he was shot. He was shot once, and from him raising his arm up, it went through his armpit straight to his heart. They said they had a strong belief that he died before he even hit the ground.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was here in Phoenix? Or?
Yeah, that was here in Phoenix. That happened actually on 16th Street.
Broadway.
Yeah. No, not the Legion. The other, what is that? The Elks. Yeah.
No,
it's the
Ambev. Sorry.
The real little bitty one.
Yeah, the real, the one was at north of Broadway.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Happened there, and from that point on, like that night was crazy because my brother, he was a good dude, but he lived a street life, so he was always out late and hustling and stuff like that. And the word got to him, and he was just like distraught. Like, I'm 13, I don't know what to do. I'm just watching everybody cry. Yeah, I see everybody torn apart. That was like my best friend, so, and like a dad, so it hit me really hard. And my brother, it did him like in another way. Like, I never seen him act the way he did. It just like took everything out of him. He didn't talk for a couple days, and then when he did talk, he was like, "Look, I know Uncle was like your favorite person in the world, and he was like a dad to you." And he was like, "I can't replicate that. I can't lie to you. I can't replicate that, but I do everything in my power to do so."
Do you mind giving your uncle's name, or is that not?
Oh, no, Robert Williams. Okay. Robert Williams. Wow. And then he said that, yeah, I try to replicate that or whatever. We spend more time together. That's who had got me into rapping, my brother.
So he tried to take the place of
your uncle. He tried to take the place of my uncle. And I would get home, and he would be right there, meet me off the bus, ask me how my day was. And then I told him, I was like, man, this is weird. I was like, this is weird. It don't feel the same. He was like, and he just bust out laughing. He was like, yeah, I know. I'm sorry. And then I was like, nah, don't apologize or whatever. And then we just grew closer in like the next month or so. And then 45 days go by. And it was, I don't even remember what night it was, but I stayed up late that night. And I was rapping and stuff with my nephew, my brother's son. And I hadn't seen my brother in a couple of days. He hadn't been home. And then he was supposed to come home that night. He was actually on his way. And he was shot. And he ended up dying. So 45 days later,
after your uncle, your brother
after
died?
my uncle and my brother died. So the two men I looked at like right under God. Like my uncle and my brother, I was just looking like that was my everything. They made sure I didn't get in no trouble. My brother made sure I didn't repeat none of his mistakes. Like, I was on the straight and narrow. If I even thought about looking left, like, that straightened my head out. So my brother passed away, and I was torn apart. I didn't know what to do.
That's a lot. And you were, what, 13?
I was 13. I was 13.
Wow.
And my brother had a 4-year-old son at the time. And the family, they went to the hospital, and they came back. And at this point, I didn't know, but I could read the expression on everybody's face.
Yeah, it was already
done. So I just put my head down, and my sister's like, he didn't make it. And that, like, ripped me apart. And I remember crying, and I looked over, and my nephew was looking at me.
So then you got to be...
Yeah, so I wiped the tears, and I jumped up. I was like, all right, we about to play or whatever. And I was, like, numb, 13 years old. And I walked over, and my nephew's mom, she's like, I don't know what to tell him, dude. I don't know what to tell him. What do I tell him? He'll never see his dad again. And she broke down. So I walked her off to the living room, and I'm like, I'll talk to him. She's like, okay, please. And
so you had to become a man at that point.
I won't say I was forced, but at that point, I still had my stepdad, but I'm looking like, as far as the core of our family, from being brought up and what I was used to, I was the one that was left to where everything was going to fall on my shoulders as far as where we were going to go from there. And I wasn't the oldest one, but I felt like I carried that based off of who had passed and who was with them the most. So at 13, I took everything that I had learned from them and what I felt like would be the right thing. And that's where I went from there. So I walked up to my nephew, I picked him up, and I'm like, I was like, how you doing? He was like, oh, I'm good. He was like, what happened? And I was like, I was like, I'm sorry, but you'll never see your dad again. And then it hit me right there, like, I won't see his dad again. Like, none of us will see his dad again. So I was, that really tore me up. It brought me down about as low as I've ever been in my life. And that was also the starting point to where I couldn't fall any lower. So the best thing I could do is try and give all my effort from that point on. And no matter where I ended up, I was still higher than when I started at 13. So I picked up the pieces from there, and everywhere you saw me from that point on, my nephew was with me, and not just him, but my sister's son. They grew up together. Shout out Jamari Byers and Ernest Moden. Those are my two nephews. And everywhere I went, I kept my nephews with me. One was 4 and one was 6. I'm talking about when I went to high school, we had weight training in the summer. I'm running on the field, and they right there on the sideline. Like we had a good. It was like a family environment. I like how it was because we had a equipment manager that would bring them out a football, or they both had a helmet on. Like they felt involved. Yeah. And we went there. Just when I volunteered, I would take them with me. So everything I've done from that point on, even like tomorrow, we're supposed to go out tomorrow shooting. I take them with me and show them like just different stuff that I do.
How old are they now?
One is 20, the other is about to turn 19. No, he is 19, sorry.
And your brother's name?
My brother's name is Michael Byers.
Wow.
Yep.
That is
that's
deep.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I know it happened a long time ago. I'm still sorry to hear.
It's a fire that burns deep with me as far as the things that I want to do next. I mean, I always resort back to that feeling because it doesn't make me sad. I know my voice has changed and I can hear it, but it's like a passion now. I found a way to turn it from sadness to like motivation and drive to do whatever I want to do next.
Cool, that's awesome.
Do better and be better. All right, so I know you touched on a little bit about high school. Can you tell us where you went to high school?
I went to St. Mary's University.
It was a university?
No, it wasn't a university. That's what we called
it's like
it.
A preparatory school.
Yeah, that's what we called it when we were in high school. I went there. That's where I met. What's that?
You had to deal with the nuns.
We had one nun when we first started. One nun.
Okay.
By the time I graduated, it was like 4 nuns or something like that. But that one nun, she was nothing like the movies or cartoons. Like, she wasn't mean. She didn't tell dirty jokes and stuff like that. So I was like, all right, well, maybe it's not like that. Maybe it's not like that. But I had a lot of fun. That's where I met some of the best guys and girls I've ever met in my life. Like, to this day, I still have those relationships. We just had our class reunion in October. And about half of us was there, and then the others were there in spirit, or whatever you want to say. Too lazy to find a reason to show up. But shout out to the class of 2007.
2007. I graduated in 07.
Oh, you did too?
Oh, okay. That was a long time ago. Did you play?
Hey, hold on. Don't try to. I heard you. That was a long time ago. What? Seemed like yesterday to me.
I was gonna say.
She always throwing shades.
Yeah,
I didn't even catch it.
It was slick too. She was like, that was a long time ago. Okay, you played sports. I did play sports. I showed up and I played football. Football and basketball was all I know from like 5 years old. So I showed up already knowing that I wanted to play football. I wasn't sure about basketball because Jared Bayless went there. Everybody know Jared? Jared Bayless. He's in the NBA right now. He plays for Philly, I think. So shout out to Jared. But I played against him in 8th grade. And I was dunking at the time. I started dunking at the end of my 6th grade year.
Wow.
Yeah, at the end of that. And I thought I was like, yeah, I'm going to NBA or NFL, like one of them. I don't know where I'm going, but I know I'm going to go. And then I met Jared, and he moved like no other kid I had ever seen. I was like, wait. He a lot better than I am. Like, now I started evaluating myself. I was like, all right, the only thing I could do is jump. That boy can run, shoot, everything. He must have got a trainer or something. But yeah, So I played my freshman year football. Everything went good. I almost said that's why I met my boy Jay Diddy from Family First, or Joshua Felton from P21 Fitness. That's my road dog. I actually met him in 8th grade, and y'all his family. So I'll tell you how I really met him. We played against each other in 8th grade, and we were on offense, and Josh was on defense, and our running back is running the ball like towards the sideline, and then Josh is chasing him, and he had no idea that I was just watching him run. And we got to the sideline, and boy, I hit him so hard that I almost passed out. And then before I could even get up, whose voice do I hear?
Victor.
Nope, I did not hear Victor.
His mom.
Victor was so quiet over there, like he had never seen Josh hit like that. And you know that's Josh's boy, so he's looking like. And I hear Josh's mama like going crazy. You mother! I was like, oh.
Oh yeah, she would have fought you.
Yeah, she was. They had to hold her back. I was like, dang, what did I do? I was like, that boy mama crazy. And then from that point, like I would see him here and there and say what's up. Actually, the uncle I was talking about, he lived on 59th Avenue, and I think it was Thomas or something like that, right by there's a hotel or something over there.
Which uncle? Whose uncles?
The uncle I was talking about.
His uncle.
My uncle.
Oh,
The
yeah.
one that passed.
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to go over his house, and Josh was actually right on the other side of a brick wall, and I had never met him over there. And this was for years. Like
59th and Thomas.
59th and something. He was over there for years, and that's probably like, I don't have many regrets, but I regret not peeking over that fence or losing my ball and finding that dude earlier, because that's my guy. I love him. I'll do anything for him, and I already know he'll do the same for me.
Is his personality still the same?
It's his man. He my boy. He my boy, and I would expect for it to be different because my sister said a man doesn't fully mature until he's like 30, and Josh is still the same. But to his defense, he's still 29, so we'll see what happened in these next.
I didn't know where you were going with that. I didn't know if you were saying that he matured early or
later.
Nah. We got this thing where if one of us act immature, the other one would say, what will we say? I forgot. He's like, we'll just say I ain't gonna never act my age. So it just goes from there. I mean, he's a good dude, but I met him in 8th grade, and then we ended up going to the same high school, and I looked up and was like, that's Josh. So I went up to him like, what's up, man? Like, we played against each other, whatever, and he was still a little salty because I hit him. So we didn't really talk as much. And then me being me, like the things I had been through, I had trust issues, and I didn't really like putting myself out there. So I would always sit back, study people, let people talk about what they do, and then decide if I want to deal with them from there. And then, so we met up. All the football players, everybody's just sitting around talking, and I'm looking, like, listening to different people. I hear somebody talking, I'm like, yeah, I ain't dealing with him, so I went the other way.
You was weeding them out.
Yeah, I'm just weeding them out, and I'm stepping back, seeing who's who. And Josh, I look out the corner of my eye, and he's doing the same thing. I was like, that dude do a lot of the same things that I do. And then we started talking a little bit, and then from there, it's just been like a brotherhood. Like, I still talk to him today. Actually, I talked to him earlier. Like, I talked to him pretty often. And that was football. Everything was pretty good. But I played 1 year of basketball. Like I said, Jared was on the team, so I was like, basketball is not for me. Yeah, I was like, that.
Jared?
Jared Bayless, yeah.
Oh, okay.
He plays for the 76ers.
Okay, so that's why you...
76ers.
So
yeah,
that's
like,
two big timers that you just felt like you couldn't compete with.
It's the same person.
It's the same person.
I was like, what?
Look how she looking at you.
Hey,
Because he talked about.
No, it's the same guy. It's the same person.
he played like two people though. I'll tell you that. He played
So
like two
Brittany,
people.
you was right.
When the first time I seen this dude dunk, we're in high school. We're freshmen in high school, and he threw the ball up, ran, grabbed the ball in the air. I was like, oh, he about to dunk it. I could do that. And he went between the legs. I was like, whoa, yeah.
So this is the player he plays for the NBA now?
Yeah.
He first he played for U of A, then he went to Portland from here, and then
he spent some time in Boston, I think, and Milwaukee.
That should be you.
He played in Milwaukee. No,
He thought it was until he said it.
I was like, yeah, I saw him play basketball.
Trainer.
I was like, okay, cool. I'm strictly football. This is easy. And then Josh was like, hey, we should try track. And I was like, man, I could keep up. Like, I could keep up because I got a long stride. I'm not a track runner. I was like, I can't sprint. He was like, man, they got all kinds of stuff. He wanted to run bad. He was like, come on. And I was like, nah, I can't do it, man. And he's like, let's just try it. I was like, all right, next year. And then he's like, all right, whatever. So the next year came after football, and track started. And they're like working out and stuff. And I tried to dodge it, and Josh was like, hey, you said this year, man, let's go. So I went out there, and I didn't know he had ran track before. He made it. He downplayed it. And we went out there, and you know the first 2 weeks of track is hell. Like, if you're not in shape, like you
ran track, didn't
you can feel your heartbeat through your head, and it's all kind of stuff. Yeah, like I was coughing. I was like, I don't think track. Yeah, I was like, I don't think track is for me, man. He was like, dog, you're gonna get over it. Just keep pushing yourself. And I was like, all right. So I give him credit for that. Like track.
So did you do good in track?
I did do good in track, but it was like nothing I had ever imagined. I was like, oh man, you just go out there and run. Who can't do that? Like, I didn't know that if you want to run the 200, like in practice, you go run 400s and 600s. I was like, I don't want to run. I was like, all right, well, I'll tell my run 100. And maybe I'll get down to like 200. Man, we start practice off with running. Yeah, I was like, this is crazy. But it was crazy how I thought I could top out at a certain speed, and then your speed just grows from there. Or you think you could only handle a certain amount of distance, like sprinting. They talk about hitting a wall, and then once you hit that wall, force yourself to go past it. Before track, I always hit that wall. I'm like, woo, I'm tired. I'm done. I'm done. I'm like, I'm winded. I'm done. I'm all that. And then he's just like, nah, that's just the wall. You got to get past it. Keep running. And then, like, to get there, feel that, and be like, let's go and keep going. I mean, after practice or meets or whatever, you lay down and you get, like, sprinter's high, which was really crazy because...
What is that?
That's when you've been running. You want to explain that?
It's past the wall. So, like, imagine you having to run to the block. Mm-hmm. You already got to the block. So you just gonna keep on going. Mm-hmm. You just keep on going.
So, what is sprinter's high? You feel like, I just did
So,
everything?
let me give you an example. When I did my marathon, and I was like, because I was already cussing, like, why is there a mountain? I don't need to go, not a marathon, but a 5K. And I'm like, why is it a mountain? I don't need a mountain. But afterwards, I did it, and then I'm like, I'm going to take a nap. I already had all these plans, but I did Just Dance. I went to the mall. We went to a carnival. You just keep going.
So you just get a whole bunch of energy.
Your body just kicks in the autopilot.
Yep, you just keep going.
Unless you lay down, like right there, and then that's when that other high kicks in because your head starts spinning. Like, do not lay down. If you've been running hard or exerting yourself,
keep. So you're not tired. You can just keep going.
Yeah, like
and then you're trying to figure out what the hell's wrong with you. Like, why can't I sit down?
There's been times where we have track practice and it's been crazy, and then everybody's like, "Oh, what are you doing?" The people that are laying down, they're like, "Oh, I'm going to sleep. I'm going home. I'm going to sleep." If you don't lay down, you stand up. You are like energetic. Let's leave, take showers, and find something to do.
Yep.
So it's like a caffeine high in a sense.
It's not even.
But you just feel really good. You feel really good, and there's been times where I've actually, we've had a hard practice on a Saturday, I've gone home, took a shower, and then went and worked out again because I was like, I got too much energy. It's crazy.
That's crazy.
But if you just stop, it's gonna have a different.
That's
effect.
where they
Like
have
if
the
you sit down, like lactic acid builds up. So if you try to get up, it's like real slow.
So
like,
you should keep moving.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Oh yeah, this is Lonnie B. I just have a question. Because when I ran track and then I played football the next year, it changed the way I played football.
Yeah.
Did it do that for you? And how
Man,
did you see it change?
So freshman year I came out like had never ran track before. Once I was tired, and then I ran track sophomore year, and then the next time I got on the football field, like before you even get to ability, I had a different mindset. I was like, I'm about to run circles around these kids, and then that's when you're just like you carry yourself in a different way.
You feel more powerful.
Yeah, you feel like a sprinter. You thinking track minded when you're walking out to a football game.
Yep.
And that's
Thinking
where
downhill.
Yeah, you like once I get the ball, like I'm not even worried about getting tackled or anything like that. Like my goal is to get to the end of the field.
And footwork.
Yeah, I'm not worried about anybody. You don't even have to think about what moves you're gonna do because you
see it before you do it.
like training, visualizing everything, that's just gonna come. So I felt the track goes hand in hand with football actually.
It's that individuality.
Yeah, and that's not the only thing. Like yoga, what else goes?
Yoga.
Yeah, what else goes?
Soccer.
What's the little ballerina stuff?
Ballet.
Ballet. Like Reggie Bush did ballet, and a lot of people don't know that.
But
Yeah,
they say
The
a lot of
footwork.
the athletes go to dance and
Because of the footwork.
Yeah.
and the
probably.
flexibility and all of the other stuff. So your agility.
So it kind of makes sense. It all like go hand in hand.
Reggie Bush took ballet.
I'm weak.
God. All right, so let's move on to a little bit about your college experience, where you went to college. I see the smirk on your face. Is that?
I got a smirk because that was some exciting times, and I talked to Josh before. Like he was like, "Hey, what did you get out of college? Like going to those classes and being in a university." I told him I was like,
What university did you go to?
I went to the Northern Arizona University.
Yeah, you went to Olympic.
You said
Yeah.
the. Why you said the?
Because I like to put that out there.
Okay,
I like the Big Sky. I told him that college didn't really do anything for me, and I said it just like that, and his mouth was like, he was like, "What?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, well the experience was great." I was like, I met all these people. NFL teams used to come when they were gonna, like, if they had a game in California and they played somewhere close the week before, they would stop at NAU.
So you were in the high country, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they would go there. I met Michael Phelps there. We met Jamaica had it was some kind of team. It might have been a lot of different Olympic teams and professional teams came there to experience that altitude.
I was gonna say, was it the
and
altitude?
they have a great like altitude, high altitude training program there. So a lot of people came, and
Hard to breathe.
yeah, you get used to it though. You get used to it. But as far as my experience, like I loved every party I went to, every study session, just a little chit chat in between classes and stuff like that, like eating at the Union Hall and stuff like that. But as far as school, there was I went there and I wanted to be an electrical engineer, and I wasn't going to move off of that. But at the same time, I wanted to play football. So they were like, I was talking to that academic advisor, and she's like, yeah, football players usually want to be social workers or they do general education.
Easy classes.
And I was like, well,
Easy classes.
I was like, I don't want that. And she was like, well, the classes are going to interfere with practice. They're usually during practice. And at that point, I had to think about if I wanted to change classes or my major, or if I actually want to play football. And I was like, well, I'm not ready to give up on football yet, so I'll change my major. And then I just went to general education for a little bit until
But
I
that's
figured
what they want
something out.
everybody to do.
Yeah,
though. That's what
and I knew that. I
Yeah.
knew that, and I was like, well, this isn't me. I was like, well, I got to find something. So I went back to the academic advisor. I was like, well, what can I do? She was like, if you want to push yourself, and you can't do engineering, but you can do something like business. And I heard business. I was like, oh yeah, what kind of business? and she gave me the layout, and I'm looking at all these classes. I was like, economics, all right, business law, accounting. I was like, all right, cool. And I started that, and everything was good until I hit accounting. And I was like, what? I was like, man. And then we had tests. Like, the class I went to was on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I was like, all right, cool. And that was like at 8 o'clock in the morning. But when we have a test for that class, it was 8 o'clock at night.
What?
I was like, man, that don't even make sense. It doesn't. And the first test we ever had was during practice. And I was a walk-on at NAU. I wasn't privileged to have a scholarship. So I didn't have as much leeway as everybody else. My job was to be there, be healthy, and practice as hard as I could to earn a scholarship. So with me missing practices, they were like, hey, what are you going to do? What are you going to do about your classes? I was like, all right. So I went back again. I was like, well, I can't do business. Can we figure something else out? I was like, I could minor in business, and I was like, I like to major in psychology. I do a dual major. I said psychology and sociology because I had taken a psychology class and a sociology class, and I loved everything about it, like the different way of thinking about how kids act the way they do to older adults and stuff like that. And they were like, okay, well, we could try that. And then I started taking more of those classes, and I really liked it. And they mixed in some philosophy for electives. And then the whole Sigmund Freud and all that stuff just opened up my mind to like new ways of putting things into perspective. So I was like, man, this is crazy. And then at the same time, I'm thinking like, this doesn't really make sense for who I want to be as a person. I was like, this is opening up my mind. Like, do I even need college to do this stuff? And then I was still doing the whole football thing. And then at the same time I was getting hurt. I was like pulling hamstring. And because I wasn't used to being out there in the cold, running hard and stuff. And then we're practicing in the snow. Like, my body was pretty much breaking down. And then on top of that, I'm looking into what's it going to be like once I'm done with school, as far as what is the field going to look like. And I started seeing like people before me would graduate, and then they were working at like Foot Locker. I was like, so I hit them up like, hey, what's going on, man? How you doing? Oh, I'm doing good. Oh, where you working at, man? You practicing or what? Oh, I'm working at Foot Locker right now. And I was like, nah. I was like, man, these classes, tuition, everything is too expensive to be not even using my degree once I'm done. So I hit my third year, and I'm like, I went to the football team. I was like, hey, I'm done, man. And he was like, what? He was like, the head coach love you. He was talking about giving you a scholarship. I was like, and at this time I was getting reconstructive surgery on my foot anyway. So I was like, yeah, I'm done. I was like, I appreciate everything you've done for me. I just can't do it no more. I was like, I don't know what my status is. I know on the team, like, you could say me that I'm there, but I would like to have a scholarship or whatever. I was like, if I'm going to take these pointless classes, at least have them covered. Like, exactly. I'm just racking up debt for classes that I'm for no reason. Yeah, so I was done with that, and I stayed there for my third year, and then it hit the summer, and it snowed. It snowed the last day of school, and I just remember I was like, you know what? We done, man. And I just started packing up the car right there. I was like, yeah, man, it snowed. It was like May 11th or something. And it was snowing? It was snowing. I was yeah, nah, we're good. So I packed up all my stuff and came back, and I'm just, at that point, no school, no job. I came back to Phoenix. I was living with my mom, and I'm like, all right, what's the next move? And that's when the economy was like down. and I was like, there was like no work. I applied everywhere. I'm talking about where teenagers apply, like GameStop. And I started getting desperate, but I didn't get like stupid with it to where I started looking at the drug dealers or the hood stuff. I was just like, what can I really do? So I looked up everything from becoming an astronaut to like astronaut, air traffic control, stuff like that, all these different things, and I just narrowed it all down. I was like, all right, well, here's electrician right here, and then here's firefighter, and then what else did I have? I know it was those two. I narrowed it down to those two. I was like, all right, so I applied for those two, and then I didn't hear nothing for a while. I'm talking about like a year. I was like, man, they forgot about me. What the hell am I gonna do? And then in between, I got a job at a cleaners, a dry cleaners, like delivering clothes to each store. So I was doing that for a little bit, and then I reapplied to the same places. I did this one to the fire academy, and then
you should have been a firefighter.
To the union. I'm telling you, I'd be working out and all that, man, all that. But I did apply. And then I was actually talking because I wanted to do ride-alongs. I was like, well, maybe if I get my name out there. And that was the first time ever I was like, get your name out there. Like, I didn't like dealing with strangers, like randomly walking up. I didn't like talking to people. That's when I first started stepping out of my comfort zone. And that was like when my life changed forever, because every time now I don't even think about, I don't feel like dealing with them. I don't know. I just go out there because it can't hurt me. The most they can say is no, and then it's done with, and you can keep going. So I applied to the fire academy and then to the union hall. Meanwhile, I'm making like $11 an hour at the time, and then I was just waiting. And I went to Phoenix College, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you could start classes. You're gonna have to do volunteer work at the hospital." And it was just a lot of stuff that I didn't mind doing if I would have gotten in. But that's just what I had to do while I was waiting to see if I would even get accepted. So the union hall called it like, you could start classes in 2 weeks. You could start working tomorrow. I was like, whoa. I was like, how much they pay? They're like, oh, we start you off at $14 an hour. I was like, well, that's like a $3 raise right now. And then I'm just thinking about that, and I was like, well, there we go. I was like, that's a start. And then I talked to my best friend. I was like, hey, what did your dad do? He was like, he's an electrician. I was like, man, I know he's an electrician, but what do electricians do? Because when I was younger, I would see my friend's dad. He would leave in the morning, come back later, and they had everything you could think of. Like anything that he needed, his dad was able to provide. That and more. Like Christmas was great. I got presents from him. Yeah, I was like, this man's buying everything. I was like, what? Yeah. And at the time, he told me, he was like, yeah, he's an electrician. I was like, okay. So they had career day at school when I was young. They're like, what do you want to be, young man? I was like, I want to be an electrician. He was like, yeah. I was like, yep. He was like, you know what they do? I was like, nope. They make money or something like that. But that's what I have a note at home from when I was in first grade that says I want to be an electrician when I grow up. So I think it was pretty cool that I actually became one.
That's awesome.
They sent me that letter, and they called me like, yeah, you could start soon. And then I went from there. I took the entrance exam or whatever, which really isn't an exam. They just want to see where you are. And it really doesn't matter, because if you fail or if you do great, you still get in. Or you get an interview at least.
Gotcha.
Depending on how you do in the interview is if you get in or not. So I started that, and that was a grind. Like, so we had an apprenticeship. We went to school twice a week, every other week. But it was from 5 o'clock p.m. to 9 o'clock p.m.
Oh my God.
And
so 5 p.m. to 9.
5 p.m.
I'm thinking 5 a.m.
5 p.m. to 9 p.m. And remember, I said I was working the job 7 days a week. So I was doing that and then going there. Like, I didn't see my son, which really hurt me. I was FaceTiming him and all that stuff. And then it was just a trying time. Like, everything would get on my nerves. Like, everybody's doing something and talking about it on Facebook, and I had no idea what was going on. Like everybody, hey, did you see this show?
Everything.
Yeah, I'm missing everything. And I just felt behind on a lot of stuff. Like, there was a couple times where I was with my girl and we were talking about breaking up. Like, and then I go to work and then people were, like, excited about it. I was like, man, we're going through this, whatever. We're thinking about splitting. He was like, oh, man, you're not an electrician until you get a DUI and you divorce your wife. He was like, you're not even married, so if you break up with her, that's really fine. I was like, yeah, I hear you. I'm like, that's not even funny.
I have a question.
But was it true?
A lot of electricians have DUIs and a lot of them are divorced. So to an extent, yeah, that's true.
So at what I can't. So at what point between the college and then you going to be an electrician did you want to start your own business?
I've always wanted to start my own business because I've seen with my fortunate friends that were
I'm done.
They had grandparents that passed down wills and they were
you know what
I mean? They were just born into a good lifestyle. They had everything everything well set out for them. Like, I had friends that left high school and went right into working, like actual career jobs and stuff like that. So I was like, man, like, I got to do all this stuff to get in that position just to work for somebody else. I was like, I want to be able to hand something down to my kids in the future, or if I can't make it happen by then, hand something down to their kids. Like, I wanted to have something where I could put my name on it and then it could just keep moving like that. I was like, I don't care if I get a dime from it, as long as I could provide for those coming behind me. So I never had the financial means up until, like, I don't know, like 3 years ago or something like that. So that was a long time of just building up the recipe. I was like, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and then I had a friend that was like, man, you got these great ideas. I was like, yeah, they are, huh? And he was like, why don't you just do it? I was like, you need money, stupid. I can't just do all this stuff. Like, what are you talking about? And he's like, your dad doesn't give you money? And I'm like, we ain't got no money, man. I'm like, my daddy barely getting by. Boy, what you talking about?
Exactly.
You ain't trying to take no risk on what I'm talking about. But yeah, I just wanted to be not a control freak, but do things the way I want them to be done. So I was like, I got to find something. And I like the fact that I'm a lot different from the average male. So you got these people that if they get a job, they started talking about it and everybody's like, oh, you hiring? And everybody wants to go to that same job. If somebody's talking about they just got a great job and everybody's talking about it, I'm looking the other way to see what's available because I know if something's popular then something else has more availability in it. And I've always liked technology, so that's what got me into the drone things. Like, I used to fly the little bitty ones that fit in the palm of your hand. Crashing those in the house, like knocking picture frames off the wall, all that stuff. I got one tangled in my girl's hair one time, messing around. I was like, oh, look what I can do. And then it wrapped all in her ponytail. And then one day, I was working all that time, and I had saved up so much money, and I just looked at my account. And I was going through it, looked it up. I was like, oh, dang, where I get all that money from? I was like, I can get like 3 drones right now. I was like, I don't know how to fly it yet, though. I was like, dang. So anytime I want something and I have no idea, I'm just interested at that point, and I don't have any idea on how to work it or what to do, I just buy a used one. That way, if I mess it up, I didn't pay that much for it.
Gotcha, smart.
And that's what happened with the first drone I got. I learned how to fly it, and I was like, oh, this is cool. So I started flying down the neighborhood and stuff. I got my mom to come outside. I was like, Mama, check this out. She came out there in her robe. What, boy? I was like, watch this. So I started flying it, and I got it low, and I started raising it up, and it hit a tree.
Oh.
I I was like, no. And then it hit the ground, battery popped out, camera flew off. I was like, man, that was $500. She was like, you paid what for that? But then I showed her the video and the quality of it. And she was like, what? They make those? Like,
so
that
you
is
still
crazy.
had the video even though
I still had the video, and I had some pictures that I took. And that was one of the older drones. I was like, man, if I could get something good like that, like imagine what I could do with something more high tech. So I was on the market for one for a while. I looked at every one that was out, and then I was saving money in the process. So I got my first one. And I was like, I'm going to start a drone business. I was like, how many people are doing that? I was like, you see any drones flying around? I was like, do you know any drone pilots? So I was like, okay, cool. This is what I'm going to do. So what I did, and it can be seen as illegal.
Oh,
because
Jesus
when you dealing with drones, like it's so much you have to do. First of all, if anybody wants to get into drones, I encourage you to look up the laws of the local, state, and federal,
like privacy laws and stuff.
Not even that. Like I'd much rather deal with privacy laws and people than
versus the government.
The government knocking on your door and you're like, what? I did what?
How far do you fly them?
The distance on them, they could go like, I think my first new one was like 1.5 miles. You could fly it out 1.5 miles, and then it goes like 800 meters up in the air. I was like, that is crazy. So I was taking it all the way up there. I was
you wasn't by the airport and airplanes. And
I wasn't by the airport. I wasn't by the airplanes, but by law, you're only allowed to go 400 feet.
I was going to say you can only go.
You can only go 400 feet up in the air. And that's depending on where you are. If you buy an airport, like
you better just don't do
it. You cannot do it. You could send a request like, hey, I want to fly, get some video and stuff like that, and they'll get back to you. 3 months later, oh yeah, you could do it on this day. Or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. But you done did it already.
Yeah, and I was like, whoa, these are some crazy laws, Like you can't accept money if you don't have a car, a pilot's license. So you have to take a pilot's license, which I still haven't taken. So I wasn't out accepting money. I was just going, and people would give me like a donation for driving out there. So I was thinking smart about that. But at the same time, I was like, this is a lot of stuff, and you actually have to be serious if you want to do it. Like you can't just say, oh, I'm a drone pilot. I got a drone. This
so
is
you
what I'm
consider
gonna
a pilot at this point?
Yes.
Have you seen that video where I don't know where was that, somebody had the drone up in the eagle or something big, went after it, and they seen it just pummeling into the trees and stuff?
Yeah, I had. And they actually I think they trained eagles or hawks or something to go and actually grab the drone and bring it down if they really want to. But they don't even have to go to that extent. They have these big old bazooka-looking guns that they can aim at it and
they
just
shoot it down.
Some of them shoot nets, and then it'll grab it and make it tumble down and fall.
Especially by the borders, if you think about it, because that's where the cartel and
people
stuff
have
is.
used drones to fly over the border, drop drugs off.
Or they can see
they did it
where
in a
Border
women's
Patrol
prison.
Is. You can see where the Border Patrol is.
What's the women's prison out here?
The one up north?
Yeah. Well, the one
Perryville.
There has been drones flying by, dropping stuff off over there. So they are really serious about it. Yeah. They messed it up for me. Shout out to y'all. They messed it up for me because I thought it was going to be a cakewalk.
I bought AJ one, and I'm like, I didn't know they could do that.
I thought it was going to be a cakewalk. I was like, man, nobody's talking about drones. It's really serious. Like, if you want to get into it, you have to play by their game. And this is what you're going to do. So I haven't taken that test, which is pending because I plan on doing beginning of 2018. And I'm just going to go from there. Like, I have everything set up, business plans and stuff like that. Like, I've just been sitting on this, and I want to make sure that I get it right. I don't want to rush into it.
Yeah, exactly.
So as many times as I've seen you, I didn't realize that he shot the video. I was like, until when you posted like his business, and I went to go look up his business, I was like, oh, he did the video.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, but I had no idea. I didn't put two and two together. But when I saw that, I was like, how did they get me thinking of Malcolm when he was on the roof as a kid. I'm
It
like,
was
how,
him.
who
He
got
came and did all of that.
Who's levitating for that?
Like how he
It
do
was
this?
we put I think it was one of Queen Bee's kids on the roof or something like that.
And that's good observation, because sometimes I'll be looking and I see different camera angles and I'll be like, man, that was an amazing video. Wait, how did he afford that? Like, how did somebody get up there?
No,
that's crazy.
Well, and that's what I was
They
thinking
got a
when I
ladder
saw
that
it. I
tall.
was,
Yeah, I
when
was like, that
first
was
saw the
moving pretty
video, and
good.
I didn't put it together, but I saw that so long ago, and then
then you put two
I'm
together,
like,
yeah.
oh, that's wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know a drone did
Oh,
that.
yeah,
Had no
and
idea how
and
they
it's
did
so
it.
neat though. When I finally seen it, it is very neat. But yeah, you need to get regular.
But I've done some music videos. One guy was like, hey bro, I need you to go to I think it was Phoenix International. He was like, I got my Camaro all souped up. They're gonna let me on the track. I want to do some burnouts. I was like, all right, cool. Let's meet up. He was like, oh, how much do you charge? I was like, I didn't think about that. I was like, wait, I can't charge. I was like, man, I'm getting something for going out
Why
there.
can't you charge? Oh, because
you're not a pilot.
Yeah, you cannot accept money without having that.
Well,
that
money,
card.
cash, or how about a check?
Yeah,
do
donation all day. So we worked out. I mean, I got a generous donation for them. But yeah, we went out there and it was crazy. He actually had some friends that he had a muscle car, and then his friend had like a Corvette. I think it was a Corvette or something like that. And these dudes are like burning out, going as fast as they can, hitting brakes. I'm thinking the whole time, like, I'm getting it, but I'm like, they tearing these tires up.
And you're thinking, why would you tear up your
Yeah, I
own
was
car?
like, man, I wish I had a car to tear up like that. I wouldn't tear it up, but I just wish I had one. And I did some fun stuff. Like, I did my son's 4th birthday, and we had these dinosaurs come. So we got all the kids running around. I picked up a lot of footage. I've done some flag football games for the adults to play.
So you get stuff views that no one else would ever get.
That no one else would get. I was thinking
There's
about
no
it.
way you can get
Yeah, I got a boy too. Shout out Chauncey Black. He's all on top of all kind of gadgets, just like me. He also can get you a TV. Anything you need, like he works with different. No, this is all legal. This is all legal.
Push the button on Facebook.
Yeah, like he can get you anything, you name it, and then he'll knock on your door. Hey, is this what you want? DeMarrice sent me over here. Like, but he's really into drones, and he's moved to a point to where he's doing like short films, like music videos, and just different type of things. Like he's pushing it to the next level, and I'm looking like. I'm still in the planning stage, but I'm not far behind. I just want to make sure I got all my ducks in a row.
And you can just look at the angles he's not looking at and go that way too.
Yeah. I definitely look at different things, and then I mean naturally I do different things from other people. Okay, cool. Anyway, unless their version really works, and then I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do that too. And then I'll just see something like, oh, let me go there. But yeah, I got into the drone thing, and then I'm looking at these pictures in high definition and stuff, and different people are stopping. Hey, what's that? What is that? I'm like, that's a drone. They're like, really? You could see what's going on? I'm like, yeah. They pulled their car over. Like, I had a police officer stop one time. He was like, hey, what are you doing? I was like, flying a drone. Voice changed. I was like, flying a drone. He got out. He was like, what? And he's like looking at it. He was like, that is amazing, man. I wish I had one of those. And then I'm just thinking, like, I'm looking at different pictures of like scenery. I took it up north.
I
took it to South Mountain. Yeah, I went out. We go out shooting in the desert, and then I took it, like, the different scenes I get. I was like, man, these are some good shots. Like, if I didn't know I did it, I'd be like, where did these come from? And the crazy part is I was never into photography at all. Like, I don't like taking selfies. I don't like taking pictures of other people.
So now that got you into
it. Yeah, it sparked my interest. I was like, wait, this is crazy. Now I'm having photo shoots of my niece with my own iPhone. Like, I'm laying on the ground, Spike Lee angles and everything.
So open up a whole new avenue.
Yeah, I like it. Yep.
So before we end off the night, thank you again, DeMarrice, for coming out and sharing your story.
Oh, y'all shortchanging me.
Are you good?
I'm sorry.
I was going to ask them if they had any more questions, though. are you not done with what you have
No,
to say?
if they got questions.
Yeah, I was going to ask
but
you
I'm
if they
still
have
jumping in though.
questions.
Yeah.
He said, "Yo,
Oh, now he done woke up.
No, I thought somebody was gonna bring up, talk about being a notary or whatever.
You a notary?
You a notary?
We didn't know that.
We know he's a notary.
He a notary.
Yeah, so I just did that in like October. I went through all because I was bored. I only work 8 hours a day, and I'm used to working like 10, 12. So I get home, and now when I get home, the first couple hours is all me. I was like,
Are you doing mobile?
Yeah. I was like, I don't.
How much you charge?
I don't want to play with the kids.
You could use your thing to go drop the stuff.
Man, I wish I could. I put that step right on the bottom of it.
I see you signing that.
But yeah, I just started that because I was looking up different things. Like when I get bored, I look at business things. I don't look at like drama or fights or nothing like that. I look straight. How can I make some money?
There you go.
So I was looking at different certifications and stuff like that. And then I saw Notary Public, and I was like, what? Let me try that out. So I just jotted down, and then I did like 3 other things. And I went back to that because it got my attention. I was like, I really want to see what this is about. So I was like, okay, this is what you got to do or whatever. Like I was so into it that I expedited it and paid more so I can get the certification faster.
So you can get that stamp.
Yeah, I was like, man, let's see what this is about. I'm gonna make all kind of money. And then I was going through the handbook or whatever. And it's like, yeah, you can only charge $2 per signing. And I was like, what?
No, but you can charge for driving.
Well, yeah, I didn't know that at first. I was like, what? So I just started looking at different things, and then I'm digging deeper, and it's like, yeah, signing agents, blah, blah, blah. I was like, how do you become a signing agent?
Yeah, mortgage documents.
I was going to say the mortgage people.
Yeah, so I had this test that I had to take, and I was like, man, I don't know nothing about this, but it's like open book that you can take. I was like, oh, well, let's go. I was like, let's go. So I took the test, passed that, and it's like, congratulations, you're now certified to be a signing agent, and that lasts for like a year, and then you got to redo it. So I was like, yeah, I'm walking around telling people, yeah, I'm a signing agent. I'm a mobile notary.
Jail because when you say signing agent, I'm thinking of the human traffickers.
I'm like telling different people. I was like, yeah, so just let anybody know. And then I'm thinking like, man, if somebody called me right now, what am I going to do? I haven't made one signing.
No,
I don't
you
know
have
what
to
I'm
link
doing.
up with a loan officer.
Yeah, so I reached out. I reached out to a few people. Shout out to this Miss Jamie. She has a notary business. It's called Approved Notary and Signing Agents. And this was a complete stranger. Like I hit her up on Facebook, and I was like, "Do you offer tips, or can you coach me?" Because I talked to a guy before. He was like, "No problem, bro. Looks like you live in Phoenix, so I'll be there, and we could do some one-on-one stuff." I was like, "Oh, cool." He was like, "Yeah, I just charge $200 per hour." I was like, "Yeah, oh, what?" Woo! I was like, "All right, man, I'll get back to you, bro." And then I reached out to her, and she's doing the East Valley. So she's like, "Yeah, just call me at 3:00 or whatever." So we talked, and then before I know it, I'm on the phone for like 45 minutes. And she's just giving me different tips, like just gaming me up, like the way she breaks down her pricing and what to do and all this other stuff. And I told her, like, what about this signing agent thing? She was like, yeah, I do a couple of those, but they're very meticulous. You don't want to mess that up because that goes a long way and you could get sued and all this other stuff. So anybody tell me there's a chance I could get sued, like, I'm going to get real serious about that. So I'm still doing research on signing agent, and but I am certified somehow, which I can't believe, but it is what it is. Like I'm still reaching out to different people. I have another lady to call on January 5th. I don't know why she picked the 5th, but whatever. She said after the holidays. And she's like, she's well-rounded in it. She's been doing it for 10 years, she said. But she also said that she could help me, and she's not talking about $200 an hour, so we'll see where that goes.
No, you can do all that. So
I'm really excited. Like, I'm just trying to do different things. I've actually been looking at, like, getting the certification to be a courier.
Oh, yeah, that goes hand in hand with being a notary as
so
well.
maybe I could put some stuff together where
And
I
then you
could just
can
put
have
it all under...
I was going to say something
all under
crazy.
one. Say something crazy. Go ahead. That boy sleep. That boy too young to know what he talking about.
What you gonna say?
I'm not
Nothing.
gonna say it. I'll say it later.
Do you ladies have any more questions for Mr. DeMarrice? No, ma'am.
I think you covered everything.
I would like to say thank you. I really enjoyed the food and the time. I
What
don't
about
know.
the drinks?
The drinks
Because we
was
all
good.
did.
Like everything, every time I come over here, I feel like I'm at home. So that's good.
Yes.
That's good. Yeah, to be the last one before the new year is like big to me. I don't know how much it means to y'all, but I was like, I was at home like, man, they could have had anybody in there.
Me?
When she first said, "Oh, we should have you for the podcast," I like downplayed it, like, yeah, whatever.
And I told him.
I told Josh, I was like, ain't nothing interesting about me, man. I don't want to do no podcast. He was
No,
like,
but we
are you
ended the year with
serious?
some good stuff.
He's like, get into your stories, bro. The stuff you told me is
sounds just
crazy.
like him.
Yeah, because he always like, dog. He was like, I did not know that. You can tell Josh like his last name. Like, yeah, your last name is Felton. What? I did not know that.
You got it.
You don't know nothing. I did not know that.
You don't know nothing.
That's my boy, man. I love that. Man. I love
No,
that.
you are definitely in the right here.
Thank you. Did you have any shout outs that you wanted to give? Shout out your social media.
Yeah, before I get to my social
And you
media,
know where you
I
got
actually
that glitter
jacked.
from.
I don't know where I got the glitter from.
Right.
I got a card from my niece. So I was about to come over here. I was like, hey, what's the name of your little business or whatever?
I know his niece.
But
She's
do you?
artist in there, or whatever. She's
Yeah.
a makeup artist.
Yeah. She does makeup, and she first got into it like me. Like, I don't do makeup, but she got into it like experimenting and stuff. And then before you knew it, she's got there's been like 10 models at my sister's house at one time. Like they're doing photo shoots and all kind of stuff. I walked over there like, damn, what's going on? Like they got lingerie on and stuff. I was like, what the hell? But she's starting to come up. Like everybody likes her. So shout out to Janae Lachey. She has a Facebook and an Instagram.
And what is it?
What? Janae Lachey. ZHONE in her last name. Well, that's not her last name, but it's LASHAY. And hit her up. Like if you want tutorials, stuff like that, she's not gonna beat you up on prices or none of that. She's pretty much just like me at heart. Like just want to help other people and see people shine. Like she'll do with the tutorials, or if you want your face beat or slayed. I don't know what's going on these days, but she does it all.
Okay,
She does it all.
Janae Lachey.
She does Halloween. She did Halloween makeup. She did graduation stuff.
So you know her?
Just different stuff.
She's on Facebook.
Who isn't?
No,
Are you gonna shout out anything like your business? Give the
Yeah, we can do that.
He still got glitter
your
on
notary.
his
What's
head.
the name of your notary business?
Well, let's
The
start with
notary.
first.
So I did the LLC and everything. I'm still waiting to hear approval for that, but I'm pretty sure it'll go through. It's SEAL Team Notary Services.
Silky T.
SEAL Team.
Yeah, I was like, I did not hear nothing about
SEAL Team Notary Services. I will pull up on you. You can pull up on me. I do auto title, like transfers, all that. Don't hit me up for no home loans or nothing like that yet. I'll let everybody know when that goes through. And I'm currently working on a Facebook page right now that's under construction, but yeah, wait until I get the training for the home loans. And then Ultimate Aerial Views, that's one that I've just been playing with until I'm really ready to go. I do have a Facebook page for that. I have an Instagram for it and a Twitter. I don't really be that active on there, but it is anytime you're ready for a photo shoot, any type of video that you want from the air, just hit me up. Like we can do it, definitely.
I don't know what we're gonna be doing.
I was gonna say, what we need him in
a somebody was like, "Oh, I want you to do this."
That was me. I still do.
That was you. Yeah.
Oh, are you trying to call me out? No,
it's been a year now. How many it's gonna take?
No. It ain't been no year yet.
It has been a year.
It has been a year.
He's gonna do my commercial for my business, and I'm still going to do it once I get an in-law. So get ready, okay?
Stay
yes,
tuned.
we working on it. It's coming.
She doing her video on the
like they say on SpongeBob. 10 years later.
Keep clowning me, DeMarrice. Your generous stuff actually going down further and further.
Oh, well, let me be quiet.
Right.
Let me just sit back. All right, thank you once again so much for coming out.
Thank you. I
spending
enjoyed
your
it.
night with us.
Yeah, I enjoyed
Spending
it.
the night.
Spending your night.
What's wrong with your
Yeah, I don't even think it's the hearing. What's wrong with that cup?
All I see is glitter.
And I don't know where glitter came from,
Right.
but it is on me. I saw one speck, but apparently it's shining like a star. Happy New Year to y'all.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Any resolutions?
Not for me. I don't.
No.
I don't lie
See,
to myself.
I stopped it too. One reason was because I never really thought about it after the first. Like it was a big thing until it came, and I was like, yeah, man, I ain't worried about that. Hopefully they forgot. But my main thing is just to keep growing as a person. I got a baby coming in a week and a half
Girl
or whatever.
or boy?
So a boy. Yeah. And the first one looks like me, so I don't know what to expect from the next one, which is funny.
Look like
We had like the 4D ultrasound. And he had like so much personality in there, like smiling, sucking his thumb, winking, stuff like that.
Maybe it's like you then.
Probably. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that, and just keep going.
You're gonna come out with a drone and shit.
Yeah, probably. Pull him out with the drone.
Okay.
But yeah, that, and hopefully, I just want to keep seeing you guys grow, and family first. Like, it's always a pleasure to be around and see the different people that you bring in. I really enjoy being around that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Always welcome.
Yes.
We're gonna be lit in 2018.
Yes. Big things in store.
Did you say red beans? Wait, what did you say?
Big things in store.
I thought you said
Red beans at the store.
He said red beans.
I can't.
Oh gosh. Are y'all ladies and
Yes.
gents ready to sign out for the night?
It's Kimmy. We out. T to the E. Happy New Year.
Sassy B, enjoy.
Queen Bee.
DeMarrice Green, I told you I don't got no nicknames until we cross that border. Then I am no monster.
Oh my god. It's the bar in the K and we out. See ya. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. We gotta go to
I'm like Charles back in 93, part of Phoenix legacy. Call me, I'm a Gucci B, cause Christy wanna skate with me. Do what it costs, throw me that pussy, I'm Randy Moss. I'm the captain, I'm the team, bringing me out at the coin toss. Throwing breath off missiles, and you just an official. Throwing that flag where I'm from, me and you pressing the issue. Now you catch it throwing signs, and I'm pitching to hit you. Throw a curveball when I'm swerved, y'all hit the curb, dog. I'm Merv, dog, that's cause Julius is my nerve, dog. You nerve soft, and I'm going harder than Bird, dog. When he played Magic, I'm just avoiding the static. Keep your 2 pennies out if you ain't play for the Magic. Like Shaq did bad shit, call Serena a racket. I know Venus can't stand me, I'm on Mercury planet. Fresher than the league, I'm the MVP. Watch these niggas get benched, baby. Home run hits, baby. Catch a assist, baby. Yeah. Fresher than the league, I'm the MVP. Watch these niggas get benched, baby. Home run hits, baby. Catch a assist, baby. Yeah.